issue in this country right now is we live in different realities.
That's right.
I live in a reality where I know I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know
too.
what, Scott?
And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
See how frustrating it is just to explain your reality when you're in one of those Democratic forums or any of them. Shit. When it comes to black people, they want to tell you how you feel. They want to tell you how equal things are. And all you should do is carry around a fucking book of stats. Show them what the stats say. Show them that. The wealth gap and all that shit. They don't believe it because they look at TV and they see Snoop Dogg on there and they see Shaq and they see all these black entertainers and our athletes and our singers, and they're like, yeah, they're doing good. They're even. You know, people are actually saying that we don't deserve reparations. We don't deserve anything. Black people are good. That's how out of touch they are. They forget we're being killed by the police officers. They forget we don't have the incomes that they have. It's a whole lot of stuff going on that they just won't accept as their reality. It just they're like, what? Oh, she's just exaggerating. That woman is frustrated. You hear it in her voice? Just frustrated.
Run, and if you
Look, I'm a New Yorker, not in this city. You cannot say that. You can't say that in this city.
So you cannot say that. You can, because he's talking about in New York, in the big cities. You see black people out there doing the same thing that white people are doing, but for a whole lot less money. Does he look under those cardboard boxes? Who he thinks sleeping under them? You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing they need to dig deeper into instead of how they feel. They don't want to feel guilty. They don't want to feel bad. So they have to argue that everything is good with black people. What are you complaining about? You got all the opportunities that we got. That's some bullshit.
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about actually.
Let her finish.
I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together at this table,
Fine
right?
by me.
And I have all.
Wow. She said, I probably got more education than all y'all. She's frustrated. She's basically saying that I don't make as much money as you. She's sitting up there with all that education, and it's because we keep trying to defend the Democratic Party. We keep trying to find a place in the Democratic Party where we fit in. Look what they done to us. They got us out there looking like straight fools. Trump is over here attacking, and we the ones hollering, and we ain't been hit yet. We ain't been hit. Chill, y'all. I'm telling you, they get into the Department of Education. They got the EPA. They got a whole bunch of departments that they're going through, and they're just pulling billions back. We need to get our shit together so as soon as they're done cutting all this money that Trump wants to say, because that's one of the big arguments. They ain't got no money for us. They just don't. We need to be in line, ready to talk. Hey, man, we need to hit you up. We ain't asking for all of it right now, but you need to start something going in the right direction. And then, Democrats, you'll see. If Trump starts something for black people, the Democrats will come in and shut it down. It's not fair. You guys are getting stuff and the immigrants aren't getting it, or the Asians aren't getting it, or the Middle Eastern people aren't getting it, or everybody else ain't getting it. So if they don't all get it, then you can't. That's pretty much how it's going to go for us. That's the game they playing. And we keep falling for this sucker ass shit. We ain't getting it. We need to turn and face the Democrats as adversaries. We no longer should we be hiding behind them, waiting for them to protect us. It's just not a good relationship. It's an abusive relationship. And I think we need to exit it immediately. Get the fuck out.
Always been the least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in, and it's not
Even
because
in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think you worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess what happened when I was there? DEI.
Scott.
Look.
I'm head Scott.
Look,
You're my friend. I respect you tremendously. I think you're probably the smartest operative in the Democratic Party, and they should listen to you more. That's number one. Number two, you and I share a comparable background. We're both from the Midwest. We both come from middle-class families, lower middle-class families maybe. I actually think we share a lot of similarities in our journey.
And that's how out of touch he is. By him being a white man and her being a black woman, that's it right there. I don't give a damn if they're from the same party or if they live in the same neighborhood or any of that other kind of shit. The similarities, once you establish the fact that you're talking about a white male and a black female in this country, all the similarities go out the window. There are none, except they got 10 fingers and 10 toes. The man is tripping. They have such guilt in their heart. They know what they did. They know what their ancestors did. They know what they do currently, collectively. And they just can't fucking own up to it. And he's trying to make her feel like he's that naive that he believes, no, everything's good now, isn't it? If they keep playing that dumbass shit and we keep buying it, these women are up there wasting their breath trying to debate them and convince them that there's still racial shit going on in this country, and lots of it. A lot of racial resentment, a lot of racist behaviors, racist organizations, all kind of shit. And these women are up here like pleading with these guys to believe them when they tell them that, oh my God, we have not come that far. They look at our finances, look at our economics. Let's use that as the measuring stick. And that way they can't debate you. We'll be talking, apples to apples, oranges to oranges, and facts. And then there's no way they can get out of that one. But you guys want to get up there and play on their field when they, oh no, I just saw a black lady shopping in Macy's. Everything's even.
But I think you made it, and you are the most respected voice often at every room or every table you're in, not because of anything other than your talent and your work ethic. And that's all anybody ever is asking for, is for people with talent and work ethic to make it. And that's what I see in you. That's how I see you.
But let me tell you something about my story and my family's story, is that we have faced discrimination. I have faced discrimination. I just said I was the least paid person, even in this moment sometimes, to my counterparts. It is just the reality of the country we live in.
Yes, it is. And that's why Joe Biden appointing these black women to all these high positions ain't getting us anywhere. Where's it getting us? It just puts them in a position they can't do shit. They just sitting there, saying that we've had it gives them the illusion that we are equal. It gives them the illusion that we have progressed. It gives them the illusion that things are way different than they've ever been before for black people. And it's nothing could be further from the truth. We're working against ourselves when we accept these positions, just because they want to just put you up there for aesthetics and so that other people can see you and aspire to get up there and do nothing as well. We have to get in these positions and be able to do something, or we don't need them. We'd be better working on the outside and demonstrating and dealing with it 100% our way, as opposed to blending with the enemy and they're watering down our fight.
And I'm not saying, I do believe I'm qualified. I know I'm qualified. You won't ever tell me I'm not qualified. But the system that I live in doesn't matter about my qualifications.
I don't agree, because when
2025.
Oh, come
I don't
on.
think.
White people can't even listen. He's a white male. He needs to just listen. And the other guy across the table, just listen to her. Like, she got a legitimate argument, and she's trying to get it off her chest, and they keep shutting her down with how they feel, because they can't feel what she feels. They can't even understand it. They just know that they intentionally do things to make themselves feel better, like look the other way and ignore things that are really happening in the world, like the woman sitting here on in an interview panel and just trying to explain her path, where she's been in, and they're shooting at no, absolutely no, not in New York.
You can't
That's just not true. That's just not true.
There's a mountain of evidence that suggests that you are wrong. Okay, let's just
Again,
take
I'm
Ashley.
a New Yorker, so I'm jaded. I am the Attorney General is a black woman. The mayor's a black man. The head of the Senate is a black person.
New York is.
See, that's it. That's why we can't let the Democrats do that. You heard that man just rattled off just what I was saying earlier. A whole bunch of black people in high places. Yeah, you got an Attorney General. Hey, you got the Supreme Court. Hey, you got a black lady on the Vice President. You know what that does, right? It makes us have to shut the fuck up and look like we're doing better than we really are. And the people who are in those positions aren't doing anything for us because they can't and because they don't want to. Because they wouldn't be in that position if their fight was for black people. If they wore black popcorn t-shirts, they'd have a problem up there. They get spotted and kicked off Capitol Hill with that shit. And we can't be that dumb as a group. We got to know what work and what don't work by now. What we've been doing from the mid-'60s up till now has been consistent on our part. Just doing whatever they ask us to do. Just strengthening their position and giving them opportunity to win a few elections here and there. But now things are coming down to it, you guys. If Trump is going to, turn on the country the way everybody is saying and everybody's all upset and nervous about it, and the Democrats know that we're vulnerable, let's say all the discrimination has gone away, which it has not, but we're vulnerable. If it comes back, we're vulnerable. We're in a bad place, but it ain't never went nowhere. And they don't want us to just talk in those terms because it hurts the people who are supposed to be our friends and our allies. They'd rather us fake like everything's good and then they can feel better. It's all about how they feel, not how we feel, not what we deal with, not us burying our family members constantly because they've been killed in prison or on the streets with the police or the gangs because no opportunities and a bunch of black kids going around gangbanging. Give them good jobs. Give them decent jobs. Educate them properly. Don't lose them in the 3rd and 4th grade. You got to stay with them. And that goes for us. We have a lot of responsibility in that, but it ain't like you guys are dumping a whole. Go walk through the schools in Orange County, California. Then come back to LA County and go down in the inner cities and walk through those schools where you see the damn drinking fountains, but got big old cracks and chips in them, and some of them have caution tape all over them. Can't even drink out of the damn things. So don't argue with black people when they're trying to explain. Just listen. They're not asking you to debate them. They're not asking you to interpret nothing. They're trying to tell you in their most clearest and passionate way, and you guys don't even let them do that. That could be a bit of the healing in itself, just listening. But shit, because you guys got it all figured out. And you guys don't want to hear our side. You don't want to because it makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense, but you don't want to hear it.
A small representation.
Well, small.
The
New York is
United
not that
States
small.
of America.
Politics. Let me talk about
Every judge I
numbers.
appear before
Because
is either a
Ashley
woman
just
or a
gave-
person of
Ashley
color.
just gave an anecdote, but the numbers also show black women are one of the most educated demographics in this country and one of the least paid. Why would that make any sense?
Why would that make any sense? And don't talk to me about the judges you stand before. Talk to me about the theory.
Hold on.
Talk to me about the world in which we live in and
Let's
the
look at
system
the
that
United
we live
States
in.
Supreme Court. How can you say we're not going to look at that from the top to the bottom? And I'm talking about the legal
New
system.
York is a more
that I live in.
progressive. And we just got a black woman.
Hold up. Let me.
We just got a black woman on
Okay,
the
but you had a black man.
We don't have a black woman on the Supreme Court. We're not no black people on the Supreme Court. They do the shit so that black people can see themselves in those black robes and say, "Hey, we're not on the goddamn Supreme Court." When has the Supreme Court started going through case files and looking at all the wrongs and fucked up shit that's going on in this country and started with a task force of some sort to correct some of this shit? Even the people who have passed away, even the young kid, what's his name? George Stinney Jr. I think the kid was like 14 years old. He's the youngest person in the United States to ever be executed and he was electrocuted. And he was 14. He's a little 14-year-old kid, and they accuse him of killing 2 white girls. So they electrocute him. And those are the things that need. And these people, those are our ancestors. Those are our great uncles and granddads and. You guys act like those lives didn't matter. It's water under the bridge. Yeah, they were swinging from trees. You cut them down and did whatever you do with them and processed the bodies. And you guys just keep on stomping. And then we are in 2025, and now everybody's acting like none of this stuff ever happened. Even the black people, to the point of where they're pleading while they're nestled too close to the enemy, the Democratic Party, and the rest of us with the Republican Party. Neither one of those parties are going to do us well. We absolutely have to break away and use common sense. Look what our parents did. Our parents were a good working class. Our dads weren't gang members. Our dads worked and took care of their families and did those things. There's always been a street element to black people because there's always been an uneducated group. There's always been an underserved group with lack of opportunities, and you're going to have crime. That's just how it is. White people are the dominant race in the country, and they got crime. They got white guys who go out and sell dope all day and don't work. It goes all the way, but we have such high numbers percentage-wise that it just can't continue this way. We got an opportunity for a person to break some daylight between the Republicans and the Democrats, and we're praying that he stops doing what he's doing and reverses all this stuff, which is crazy. Why would he run a full election just to do what the Democrats want him to do? Obviously, the man was going to get in there and do something different than what Biden was doing, which is, hey, I've seen Trump on TV in the 13 or 14 days that he's been in office more than I saw Biden in his 4 years. No damn lie. And not on the same topic. Jumping from this topic to that topic, from this venue to that venue, and with these people and that Netanyahu, he's just all over the goddamn place. I'm saying, you just don't see a person at that age with that kind of energy. And Biden wasn't doing that. And now we got a president in office who's moving fast and expeditiously like any politician should. And what do we say? He's doing too much. Doing too much. Usually what is our other thing? They ain't doing shit up there. Now we get a motherfucker up there moving paperwork and he's moving too fast. Hey, you can't have it all. Whether you voted for the man or not, he is our president. And hopefully he'll do something to upset the Democrats to the point of where they will expose themselves to the blacks who have not weaned themselves from the Democrats. But it's coming. It's coming. They cannot get through. This dude has been in office for 13 days. And you guys notice that if all this stuff affects black people, the DEI stuff is really what I'm hearing a lot of. If it affects us so badly, like they say it does, how come we ain't had no rallies for black people? How come when they shut down that U.S. aid? Remember they shut down U.S. aid, and what did they do? Protests, rallies. They brought out Maxine Waters. They had all the Congressional Black Caucus and a significant amount of Congress standing in a pile of Democrats, basically taking turns getting on that mic and defending U.S. aid and its importance and how we need it back. But if the DEI programs affected black people, you think we'd have been around the mic like that then? Why weren't the Democrats around the mic then, checking the media and informing the people and speaking? Because it ain't some bullshit. They just be lying to us. This DEI shit, they don't give a damn about us because we are not the biggest recipients of it. White women are. So if white women are the biggest recipients of getting these DEI jobs and these loans and small business administration benefits and accolades and all the wonderful things that go with it, but we the ones that they start hollering about. And we got this lady up here thinking that DEI, it has nothing to do with us. Ain't no B in DEI.
From the 70s.
You brought up the Supreme Court.
Or the 60s.
One.
Did you know, Arthur, that there are
Hold on. What percentage of it does it represent the United States of America?
Why does it matter?
Why
so we gotta go by numbers.
Why is it so hard to acknowledge what she just said?
Why is it so
Why is it just one? Why is it only?
I'm going to tell you guys, we get along. We agree. We just scared to do it too much in front of white people, I guess. And we get attached to these institutions and these companies and these news agencies, and they direct our thinking. They tell us how to think. They tell us what to do. And if you guys don't believe it, why are we still in last place in every category? That's about as basic and simple as I can keep it. In every category, find a category that we're not in last place, not even first. We don't have to be in first. And something positive, not prison don't count. We can't keep doing this, you guys. The facts are there. They print them. They pass them out. They make them available to us, and we still keep running into the same brick wall. This is not going to continue, you guys. We got to do better.
I want Italian American.
No, but why is it so hard for you to acknowledge what she just said about black women being the most educated?
I did acknowledge it. I said that's not my experience.
Okay,
that
but
was
we're
the case,
because
we
you're
would have
not a
more
black
black women on the
woman.
No, I'm a New Yorker, and that's
New
not
York
the way
is
it
not
is in the
representative
US.
of the rest
You're
of America.
correct.
That's also what
It's also the most diversity in the country.
Well, that's exactly.
Like,
so of
why
course
wouldn't
there's
it be?
more
I think it's a
representation
little
and
more
women are.
representative.
And Scott, I think if you really see you said something very beautiful. This is your friend. You guys share a lot of the same values. You guys think alike. You guys are literally friends off air.
It's so easy to say nice shit about people, especially when the woman really is all that. He didn't make no shit up. He didn't lie. He said with some true shit. Now, he has to pump her up like that in order for her to look as much of an equal to him for the viewers as possible. He can't get in there and be like, yeah, you're right. I know I make twice as much as you do, and you got 5 degrees, and I got an AA. I mean, he can't get on there and do that shit. He's going to get up there and try to puff her up because they do that to us. They pump us up and they tell us you can be an astronaut and you can be a pilot and you can be a doctor and you can be a brain surgeon. And how many of them do we have? It's limited. Their DEI programs that have been working against us are being taken away as if we benefited from them. Why are they taking them away and we never benefited from them? Because we keep jumping in this swimming pool with all these other people. We need to get in a pool that's just us so that we can benefit. We're not going to benefit with the Asians and with the Hispanics and with the... Look at the Asians and going to college. Look at how they get in college. Because they got their economic base. They don't fuck around. Their kids are trying to get into more creative and different fields. And if it ain't like owning a business, and they send them to college, and the parents work their ass off, and when that kid come back from college, they start breaking it down. You got a degree in this and a degree in that. And with the modern technology, they're taking their parents' businesses to another level. But they come home and they got a business to work in a lot of cases. And if not, they're getting into a really high-paying and respectable career field. Our people need that. That'll change everything. And then we can have these conversations that go like this when we're making progress and doing some things. The things that I'm saying now are not much different than the things that any black man in my age group in the 60s would have been saying. Not much different. A little less violent from in the societal part as far as violence being inflicted on blacks by whites. But not with the police. They got this shit, they stepped it up a notch. I like when they had shotguns and revolvers. I don't like the semi-automatic rifles. I don't like, instead of them having that 12-gauge shotgun, they got semi-automatic. I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ. And they're talking about the North Hollywood bank robbery. Changed everything. No, it didn't. They was doing that shit before that North Hollywood bank robbery. That's why they were able to get them dudes. They had the firepower. They had some shit. And I think it was a gun shop in the area. They went in and kind of got some dudes on loan, guns on loan. But we don't have those opportunities. That's why these women are on here just exasperated, like trying to convince you that they're just for you to just acknowledge that would probably be all they need, and you won't even acknowledge that.
You text, you have good conversations. There is the yes and in that. There is something that says to me that you know what she's saying is true. You think she's smart. You know that she's smart. She's more educated than mostly everyone at this table. And so what she's saying isn't a lie. What she's saying is a real life experience. And so why is it so hard to understand why something like diversity, equity, inclusion needs to be a part of what we do in a system that never even acknowledged a group of...
See, that's where they got us, you guys. This lady here was on the right track. She was about to get in that ass, but then she went back to her protective nature and protecting the Democrats, and she had to take it back the wrong direction. She was heading in the right direction. We have to peel ourselves off of them. If we don't, and if we take our DEI argument that ain't even ours and keep fighting it, everybody else will continue. Why don't we just turn to the Democrats and say, hey, we want to help you guys fight this DEI shit. We want to help fight it. We want to be in that fight. But you guys have to admit, we've been receiving the least out of it. So right now, we want to help. We want to get involved, but we are not until you guys prioritize us. You guys got us down here in the dirt fighting with the immigrant. That's fuck that. Fuck that. We ain't doing that shit no more. And that's not unreasonable. That is fucking not unreasonable. It's so basic and simple and plain, but we'd rather take it way out into the weeds talking about some bullshit that had nothing to do with nothing. And debating with some motherfuckers who you're trying to make some man you don't even work for feel good about you. Fuck him. We need to take our fight to the right place and to the appropriate people and be more consistent and truthful and not getting these arguments and debates and you're about to kick ass and then you flip it around and you go from the offense to defending some Democrats.
People never saw us as a human commodity, just literally never noticed who we were. And now here we are years later asking for some simple rights, some simple civility. She's asking to be paid like you get paid. She's asking to be acknowledged like you get acknowledged. And she knows that that is not the case because she is a black woman.
Because she's black. You don't have to add woman. Believe me, we catch hell just like our women. And if you're a black woman, you catch less hell in the workplace than black men do, unless it's the sexual harassment and all that. But I'm telling you, they at least hire you guys. You might see some black guys out there making some good money in this life, but our black women are the ones who they feel more comfortable working around and who they hire on the inside of buildings as opposed to on the outside. And all of our outdoor work that we, kind of did the most of is taken by the immigrants coming over. Any manual labor that any black men, the truck driving jobs, the jobs that a lot of men who graduated around the time I did, they drove trucks, they did construction work, they did all those things. They worked in factories, they worked in warehouses and distribution plants. Where do you think those jobs are now? It's a speck of black sprinkled around the warehouse and the manufacturing plants, and it's dominated by the immigrants. And they're fighting. Our party, the Democratic Party, is fighting so hard for people to come in here and hurt us. I just don't get it. And these women here, as intelligent as they are, they program to fight for the Democrats more than they're programmed to fight for their own self.
Had a high-ranking position in the White House of the United States of America.
Dear friend,
she is one of the most celebrated political operatives in the country.
There's
Do you know how hard I had to work to get that?
Do you know how hard the son of a garbage man had to work at it? So I'm just telling you.
I'm not saying that, but
talent and work ethic are everything, and that's why I think you're here.
It's not true. It's just not true.
So
it's just
look,
not true.
The other thing is the access to opportunity is. I know you don't want to think that is true, but access to opportunity is what DEI is supposed to.
Why can you say it to him, but you can't say it to them people who write that shit and put it in front of you? Tell them, bitch, fuck that, I ain't reading this shit because it's not the truth. We know what the truth is. But we won't stand up and tell the Democratic Party and these Democratic operatives that shit. We pretend like everything is good and it isn't. And they're using us. And that shit, Joe Biden, how the fuck do we let an old senile man like that do that? Openly, during his candidacy or going up into the White House when he won in 2020, we openly let him get on microphones and say, without knowing who it's going to be, I'm gonna pick a black woman as my VP. I'm gonna pick a black woman for the. Is that like some degrading ass shit? Like, man, fuck you. If you want a black woman, you should pick her and pump her up and make her look as respectable and as credible as possible by saying, I chose her because she's the best person for the job. I chose her because she really made an impression on me for some professional reasons that make sense and not because I'm gonna hire a black woman. Joe Biden said that shit and we all act like that's a good thing. Yeah, we're going to get a black woman. Fuck that. That's not what we want and that's not what we need. They give us the shit we don't. If they give it to you that easy, we don't need it. The shit they don't give us, that's what we need. But I'm telling you guys, it's been going on too long. And people will still try to debate you and argue with you and drop in your comments and visit you. For what? To fight for what? People who ain't even fighting for us. We can't even tell them how we really feel because they'll think we're tripping. Oh, what's going on with them blacks? You know what I'm saying? As far as we've come, we've just come a lot of years, but we haven't moved. The progress is horrible. And when I see black people on the street, It's right there where you can reach out and touch it. And that's too much of a reality for white people to be getting on TV trying to debate and tell us how we feel or what part of the country. He said New York. Okay, let's say, for instance, he's telling the truth and black people do flourish and do well in New York. But then you go to the rest of the country and it's fucked up. Is that what we're aiming for? It's just stuff that don't make no fucking sense.
To address, and not just when it comes to race, although race is important, but when it comes to women, when it comes to people with disabilities.
Yeah, no, see, there they go. The DEI is for everybody else but us. Why can't they? This is a black conversation. That's what we was talking about. The lady was arguing about how she don't have opportunity. She was on a black path in her conversation. And then this one here is about to bring it all the way back around like I said she would and start talking about the LGBTQs and the people who's missing half of their head and the people whose ears are pointy. Everybody but us, or everybody with us. We need separate. Our path is too damn different, and it's been going on too long. When people start telling us that we are not burdened with racism from other races, not only the white race, but other races. They come here and they emulate. Everybody wants to be like the white people. Everybody want to live like the white people. They want to do what the white people do. And if the white people don't like us and treat us all fucked up, they follow. So we need some credibility and we need some honesty. Well, you know, we have the credibility, but if somebody's sitting there and you're telling them until you're blue in the face what your problem is, and they're going, no. Oh, no, come on now. You know, like you're just being delusional. No way. Yes way.
When it comes to people from different socioeconomic brackets, from rural parts of the country.
I think that's the biggest issue. There's different socioeconomic brackets.
So now
more
we're
than
trying
race and gender.
now we're trying to say that everything is equal just because I say it is, even though all the evidence.
Who said everything is equal?
Well, that's literally we're already living in a meritocratic society, is what Scott and his colleagues want to say, when that's actually factually not true.
Do you not think everything is equal?
But I think it's generally,
true. But I think it'll seek its own level. I don't think the government should be telling us to seek its own level.
But you literally earlier
just said DEI is not about the government. Y'all are talking to private companies
Yes.
and telling them you can't
do
operate
it. It's
about both.
the way you want to
But
operate.
Arthur, you literally just said, I don't think it will seek itself out, because you literally just said human nature, that's how we operate.
That's right.
Sometimes
I don't think it will seek its. You don't have to hypothetically nothing. Just give them facts. Show them the years that we've been clinging to the Democratic Party, and prior to that the Republican Party, so we tried them both out. So now we ought to try neither one of them out. We need to try our own, look within, because we know this ain't working, especially when they got guys going around like these guys like, wait a minute, no, you guys are still being resented again? No way. It's just impossible.
Yes,
which is why the civil rights movement was so
I think it's
important.
more socioeconomic than it is.
This is why, like, when they talk about like canceling.
He said it's more socioeconomic than it is race. He ain't never been pulled over in the middle of the night by some asshole ass police who don't like black people. Then it ain't social shit. You can have on silk slacks and be driving a damn Ferrari. None of that matters. In fact, that might get your ass whooped quicker. I just don't believe that he believed what he's saying. I just think that they're programmed to do that for their own feelings, so then they can say no. They even talk that way amongst themselves when we're not around, because they don't want to admit the truth, because if they do, they got to do something about it. It's so easy to pretend that shit didn't happen, or that is, oh, we fixed that. Remember 64, the Voting Rights Act? Yeah. Oh, please. And the crime bill. That was another thing they did for us. Thanks, Democrats.
The Department of Education, why they talk about the federal government. The reason why the federal government was so important, particularly for black people to seek justice in this country, is because it was the one bastion of hope that people had when states took control and they had discriminatory practice laws.
Okay, but
the
that was
Supreme Court.
What? How long ago? Tell me how long ago was that? How long ago was that?
We gotta go. We gotta go, but it was not that long ago.
I know.
It was
okay.
It was not that long ago.
Yeah,
it was in Ashley's father's lifetime. It was in my parents' lifetime.
Hell no, it ain't that long ago. It's in our lifetime. That's not a long time. When I was a little kid, it was still a lot of openly fucked up shit going on. I'm an older person now, and it's still a lot of openly fucked up shit going on. Do you guys remember when we were watching the what was that? The fuck was that? The inauguration? What was that when Elon Musk got up there and did that Nazi thing? I know shit. It's been like ongoing. Them dudes is on TV every day signing some shit. That fucked me up. That he could do that, and we just keep on rolling. You know, it ain't no thing, and that's why I know we're just a traumatized group of people who get locked in to the point of it's more about comfort than it is about progress, and I totally understand it, but it's a condition that we have to overcome. We're gonna have to be uncomfortable because this comfort at some point will become more uncomfortable. We can tolerate it, but we don't want to live like that. Especially when we have people sitting at tables who have more college than everybody else at the table combined. And we got to sit up here and argue with a person who's telling you the only thing they agree with is that, you know, you're from the same place they're from and you guys have so much in common. But when it comes to the differences, they don't want to acknowledge those. Not until they get on the interview and they have an opportunity to hire somebody who look like you. And then that's when they see, oh, I know what she was talking about now. It's pretty terrible, guys. But we got to step it up. It's been, what is it, day 13, day 14? Trump ain't playing. I mean, I don't know what they thought. And then you got the Jasmine Crockett's and that group who say you want to fuck around and find out. And that what you thought Trump was playing? Okay, he wasn't playing. All right, whatever. So what we gonna do? Go run to the Democrats to protect us? The same Democrats that got their ass whipped in the election? Them ones? The ones who can't win an election? If you ain't in power, you can't do shit. And not only did they lose the election, they lost the majority. They fucked up. As long as and what's really crazy is that Trump's picks. Remember, it's like acting like Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel and all these people were just way out there. Like, oh hell no, this is just. And a lot of black people believed it. It just seems so far-fetched because Trump picked him and he's crazy, so there's no way the black people were going to accept the fact that any of them would get approved. They just look. Even the controversial ones, because all those Republicans got to do is stick together. When they start breaking apart and doing like the Democrats were doing back when Obama was trying to go through whatever the fuck he was trying to go through, he didn't get the same respect that all the presidents before him got. And he was playing ball with him, man. Obama was really like being a good president for this country from a white person's perspective. And that wasn't good enough. So we need to get it at some point. And I hope that everybody on YouTube who is saying anything close to what I'm saying has a whole bunch of followers and people are listening and commenting and interacting so we can get this going, you guys. This is making no sense. I'll see you on the next one. Like, comment, share, and please subscribe.